What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified series, Flint. And so here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Flint posing out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories really fast. Unfortunately, Flint is a little light on accessories. He does come with his beret, which does fit on his head nicely. He comes with his shotgun, which is a more futuristic style, which fits in his hand perfectly fine. And it does have some storage on the back holster. He also does get a handgun, which fits in either of his hands nicely. It's the same that we saw with Duke, and it does fit in that holster as well. Other than that, Flint here doesn't come with anything else. Unfortunately, I would have liked to see a few more firearms, maybe a knife, but that's neither here nor there. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually have a closer look at Flint. And so here we have a closer look at Flint, and Hasbro has done a really good job capturing the look of Flint here. It's a more modern take on Flint. As you can see, he does have a scar above his eye, which that's really interesting. You wouldn't expect them to give hero scars, but they did with Flint. And I really love the way they did his hair. The fade on it is very impressive, and you can see it's sculpted really nicely. They did a lot of care into his sculpt, which looks really nice. And one thing I do like is that they did give Flint, if I can just grab it, his trademark beret, which looks really nice, and I do like the insignia on it. One thing I do love about it is once it goes on his head, it doesn't come off. Like, you can shake this figure violently, but that beret stays on, so that's a very nice little feature that I do like. Overall, I do like the head sculpt. It's a very commanding head sculpt. He has this really subtle, older, wiser look to him that we don't see with too many of the Joes, but I do like the way it came out. So really do like his head sculpt. Moving on to his torso, for the most part, he is a reuse of the Duke body mold, and I do say for the most part because he does have some new pieces. The harness right here that he is wearing with the armor is a completely new sculpt. It's exclusive to Flint, at least for now. It does have the shotgun shells, which look really nice. I like the gold and black painting on it. It's not really gunmetal, it's like a really dark gray for the armor. Also looks really nice. And then we do have some pouches right there. On the back, it does continue that same dark gray paint that we see on the front, and I like the fact that it looks like body armor. And then we do have the holster for his shotgun. Now, like I said, the shotgun is a more modern take, and it's a kind of a futuristic shotgun, to be quite honest, but you can tell it's a shotgun because it still has the shells right here, or the slugs. And one thing I do like about the shotgun, it breaks. They even added that little feature that it breaks. Now, if only they added a little feature where the pump action actually worked, that would be so fun, but it's still a very nice accessory. Now, like I was saying, for the most part, he is reuse of Duke, besides his harness right here and his belt piece being completely new. His upper torso right here, at least in the front, is completely new. On Duke, he was wearing a white shirt, but here on Flint, you can see he's not wearing a shirt underneath, so that is completely new, and that I know of is only exclusive to Flint here. But other than that, the abdomen piece, the arms, the legs, everything is reuse of Duke, which isn't a bad thing because I really do like that Duke mold. It's a very, very nice mold. You can see it does have a lot of nice detail, especially right here. His sleeves are, of course, rolled up. And just like Duke, he does have a watch on the left arm. He is wearing brown gloves instead of the black gloves that we saw with Duke, and those look really nice. It's the same that we saw on Breaker as well, but for some reason I like it done in this black color scheme. It looks really nice. So like I said, the belt is a new piece. We do have a pouch right here, which looks good. We have some shells right there, a buckle here, and what I think would be grenades, but those don't look like grenades. They could be, they might be something else, but they are done in a really deep jungle green. For his pants, again, reuse of Duke, all the way down to the holster right here, which does have the same handgun that Duke had. So if you want to mix and match those, you can. I might get another Flint just for the holster and switch that off with Duke because I don't like the lime green holster. This, I think, works better for the figure, but it's still really nice, and you can see the buckle right there. Really do like the fatigues he's wearing. You can see the camouflage is done very nicely. We do have some pouches right here. Really do like the camo paint that Hasbro gave us. Now, they could have painted the straps here on the knee pads. I don't know why they didn't do that. On Duke, they were painted. If I can just bring those out really fast. I would like to see that same dark green paint motif right there, just because you can tell that there is some kind of binding right there that it's not present because the texture is different. Really would have liked to see some paint there, but Hasbro didn't paint it. But I guess for what we got here, they figured they didn't need to paint those straps. Now, from here on, he does share the same boots as Duke, but not the same armor. The boots are the exact same as Duke from the strapping and all this nice little weathering right here, the texturing, it all matches Duke's. So the boots are completely reuse of Duke, but they did add some paint right here on the soles just to give it a little bit of detail. And the shin pads are completely different. Duke had the shin pads going all the way up to the knees, where Flint's here just goes up to his shin. And if you have OCD, that is going to drive you crazy because they are slightly off to the inside. It was like, I don't know why Hasbro's doing that with the shin guards. The shin guards should be facing out, but if you do that, their foot's pointing out too far. I don't know, it's kind of frustrating when Hasbro does stuff like that because it's not an easy fix. You actually have to take that off and reset it. So, Hasbro's gonna Hasbro whenever they can, unfortunately. But for the most part, Flint here is very nice. I do like the way he came out. So, with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Flint compared to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Flint posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Flint posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 112 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Flint posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And finally, here we do have Flint posed next to a G.I. Joe Classified Duke and Cobra Commander. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a look at Flint's articulation. If you saw my Duke review, you know exactly what you're getting. We do have a ball hinge here at the neck, which does let him look up all the way, so that's really good. Looking down, that hinge does let him look down really nicely. We don't get too much head tilt out of that ball joint, but we do have rotation, which works fine. We do have a second ball joint here at the base of the neck, which that does tilt side to side really nicely and does move around. So really good range here on his head. He does have butterfly joints, but they don't work all too well. They still work, but just like Duke's, they're not the best that we've seen, but they're not the worst either, so they don't really get a pass, but that's just how it is. Arms do go out to the side about there, go all the way around. We have a bicep swivel, double bend here at the elbow. We have an up and down hinge as well as swivel here on the left side, and on the right side we have an in and out hinge as well as a swivel. So on Flint here, he does have an ab crunch underneath his harness here, but it's so thick you really can't get it to move, and that is unfortunate because Duke's had really good articulation here in the abdomen. Flint here does not. He does still have that ball joint in the waist. It's not the same as the ball joint and ab crunch combination, but some articulation is better than none, and it does rotate as well as pivot side to side. We do have drop down hinges in the legs, which do go forward to about right there. They go out to the side, swivel up high in the thigh, double bend here at the knee, going up really nice, I do like that. Swivel at the boot, hinge in the ankle, going back and forward. Doesn't go too far forward because of the shin armor. Then we do have forward facing pin for rocker ankle. So overall, really nice reuse of the Duke mold, and it does work for Flint. Really do like the way he looks and came out. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Flint posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Flint pose for my final thoughts, and overall Hasbro has done a really good job capturing the classic feel of Flint and modernizing it. Now, this isn't everyone's cup of tea. This is still a modern take on Flint because of the armor and the futuristic looking shotgun and the handgun. I still think Hasbro did a very good job bringing this figure into modern day. Now I do see Hasbro eventually giving us a classic Flint, especially with a more classic shotgun and without the armor on the boots, because we are seeing them move more toward the realistic weapons, especially with what they revealed as at HasCon. Really looking forward to a lot of those figures, but Flint here is still very good despite the fact he is using the Duke mold, which there's nothing wrong with that mold. It's still a really nice mold. He's a fantastic figure, and like I said, I think the black looks better than the beige. Honestly, that's my honest opinion, and I think Flint here is a much cooler character than Duke, maybe because of the shotgun. I don't know, that's probably the only reason I like Flint a little more than Duke. But overall, Flint here is a fantastic figure. And now, if you are looking for Duke, him and Lady J aren't that hard to find, which is a little bit of a shame because they're both really solid characters and really solid figures. Flint here does only come with 3 accessories, but they are very nice accessories, and you can update other characters with those accessories, so I really don't see why he's warming the pegs. I can understand why if too many people have them and they don't want to pick up a second one, that's their prerogative. But me, I find this Duke to be a really good way to give other Joes other accessories such as handguns and shotguns, because you never know when those will come in handy. Flint here is a really nice callback to classic Flint, and again, Hasbro doing what they did, bringing him to the modern era, does bring a very nice figure to the table. With that being said, guys, I'm King of Dragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other G.I. Joe classified videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.